Today's topic, I went to America from Canada. Don't worry, I already got tested negative, you know what I mean? Did the quarantine thing. So currently right now, there's a travel ban, meaning Americans can't fly, they can't drive, they can't ferry up to the Canada. It's illegal. You'll be stopped at the border and turned away unless it's for essential travel, all right?
And what's essential travel?
Basically, if you do health work, if you do some kind of diplomatic work, vice versa. Canadians can't drive, can't ferry, but for some reason, we're allowed to fly into the United States. I didn't believe it when I read it. It made no sense to me. If you're banning travel between two countries for health reasons, it makes no reason to ban most travel except for one. I was confused about this, so I show up at the airport, I get there, I book my ticket last minute, found some cheap tickets, right? Had my face mask, did the whole thing. Showed up at the airport, it was dead empty.
Of course.
Dead empty in Canada.
Of course.
Right? So I get to the Montreal airport, go through the booking service. There's no lineup, go straight through airport security. I was like, oh my God, y'all really working? Okay, let's do this. I go through USA pre-check, right? I go to talk to the lady and I'm like, hey, I'm going to the States. And she said, okay. Now keep in mind, TSA, Border Patrol, normally are assholes. All right. This lady was so goddamn bored.
She's like, oh, work, hi. Hi. Oh my God, wow. No, don't take off your shoes. Don't take off your shoes. How you doing? I didn't clean yet. How you doing?
Yo, listen. This journey made me realize how little sense America makes. Okay, so I'm talking to this lady, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, so you Americans can't fly to the US. She's like, that's correct. So I'm like, but Canadians can fly to the US. She's like, that's correct. And I'm like, why? And she said, great question. And she just stared at me.
But it's not because she works there that she has the answer.
Right.
That's why when people are like, yo, I work for NASA and they're doing some 5G test, it's not because you work there that you know what's going on.
Right. She didn't know. She was confused and she thought it was stupid as well.
And you're gonna ask everybody working there. Nobody's gonna have an answer. They're gonna have a formulation of the answer,
right,
but they're not gonna know.
Right. And I called CBP, right? I called basically the Border Patrols people. I don't even know, BCP. I don't know what the fuck the acronym is. I called them, stayed on the line for 30 minutes, and then I Googled it. And apparently these people just don't answer the phone, so there's no point in calling. Literally, there's no point in calling.
What did you want to call?
To ask them why this rule was in place. So then I did my research. Apparently the CBC, the Canadian Broadcasting Company, they called the Border Patrol to ask a question, and they got no straight answer. Nobody knows why this rule's in place. Nobody knows why this loophole's in place. Now, some of you might say, well, but early in the pandemic, it might just have been an oversight. The problem is they keep re-signing this thing every month, and they've re-signed it 3 times, and they have not closed this loophole. So my question is this. If you're going to put in a measure for safety purposes to ensure that people can't travel non-essentially to avoid any kind of spread, what is the point of putting that measure in place if you're going to allow people to fly?
Okay, what it is either two things. Either it's because of something you don't know and you don't need to know and you're like undisclosed, or it's a good old case of it's not because it's the law that it makes sense.
It's going to be the latter. Because there's no way you can convince me that something I don't know when it comes to the fact that you've banned travel for security purposes, but you allow flights. That doesn't make sense. It's a half measure that nobody seems to be able to justify.
Yeah, well.
Okay, here, let's play devil's advocate. What in your mind could you see being the reason that they allow this to happen?
Because Americans are dirty.
Go ahead.
It's not true. I'm just kidding.
I'm so confused.
No.
It's escalated fast. You better be ready to defend this shit.
It's not true.
Yeah, they're coming for your neck now.
Yeah, they're coming for my neck. It's not true.
Yeah.
That's how much it doesn't make sense. Like,
right.
It does not make any sense. Even if you talk about in terms of populations or stuff like that, like, it makes no sense.
Yeah. And you know, I
don't have the answer, Sway.
Me being in the States during the pandemic, it wasn't nearly as scary as I thought it was going to be. You know, I was in New York City, the epicenter, and most people had masks. They were going about their day-to-day life. At the time I got there, I ended up going on the Schultz podcast, which is a good thing. And yeah, you can just tell that, okay, here's the thing. It's hard for me to justify to people that they need to continue this lockdown in the States specifically, when one, financial relief really hasn't come for most people. And 2, the security measures that the government have put in place have been illogical and inconsistent. For me, it's hard to look at the American people and say, yo, y'all should do the lockdown when your government is fucking you over.
Y'all should follow the rules. when the rules don't make sense. I get it.
I can't support it. When I went through this trip, right? Like when I did this thing, to me, like I understand why so many Americans are against it. In Canada, it's working exceptionally well. We've really locked it down. You guys can't come up. But what you guys are going through in the States is a different scenario, and your government has been woefully incompetent when it comes to handling this. This makes no sense. It makes no sense that I should be able to fly in, but you guys can't fly up. It makes no sense. And when I was walking through the Philadelphia airport, like nobody had masks on, people was mad close to each other. I was like, yo, there's no way that you guys are gonna have this for a long time.
Thank God you got tested.
Yeah, I had to get tested. So I didn't want to be irresponsible.
You just sound like you got an STD or some shit like that. Did you get tested?
Yo, listen, STDs, coronavirus, all this stuff, get tested.
My girl was like, yo, are you going to film tonight? Nah, we're waiting for Abba's results. We're waiting for the results.
You know what? That's what a lot of people say on porn sets.
Are you going to film tonight? I'm going to wait for the results.
I'm saying this right now. I owe an apology to the American people. Because I said, take this lockdown, do it this, do it that.
Yeah,
right?
you called them stupid
Baby, do
too.
it right. Baby, do it right. Okay?
Well, you can do it, baby.
Do it tonight. Right? We said that. We said that shit.
Yeah.
But having seen your government, I can't condone it. Like, we're getting $2,000 a month. You guys have received very little income and support
1.2.
from your government.
1.2, and the rent is even more.
Yes, and your cost of living is absurd. So I am sorry in that regards, and not recognizing that you guys live in a particular situation with your type of government, and it's not a tenable situation. It's not. It's not. I believe in lockdown measures. I think they do work, but they have to be properly implemented.
Yeah,
and there has to be a support system.
So we fucked up.
Sure.
We never have. That's always been here. Like, if you come with arguments and you came and you experience it, we're gonna be the first to say that we fucked up. We're gonna first to say that, hey, you know what, we were wrong. We're gonna be the first one to backtrack on what we said. That's not a problem. We don't have ego like that to be like, oh yeah, we were always right, and well, it's because we didn't. Nah.
Yeah. Went through smoothly, right? The easiest fucking line into even the airplane. I felt super safe. It's probably the safest I've ever felt on an airplane.
Because everybody was suited up.
No, because the way they set up the airplane, okay, I'll tell you how they set it up. There's nobody sitting beside you. I have never had this much leg room for no added fee. Bruv, if you want to fly like royalty, right now's the time. Okay? I've never had, like, you actually see, they put two seats right beside each other. The seat beside you is always empty. They didn't overbook the plane.
They can't.
That's what I thought.
You thought they couldn't.
Right, fly WestJet. They didn't. Then I flew Americans, and they're like, fuck you.
Really?
Oh, nigga, it was packed like sardines. I could feel the corona coming in my butthole. I could feel it, bro. It was packed like sardines. You know how cheese that was? They're like, for everyone, yo. Okay, so when they serve you food on the airplane, I kid you not, they bring you this bag, all right, this quarantine bag that has like snacks and like dry ass cookies and a bottle of Dasani water, which I personally love, but everyone hates.
Dasani?
Yeah, I love Dasani water. So I have my little snacks on WestJet Airlines, go get to America. On the way back, they get on the intercom, they pack us in like sardines, right? And then we get on the intercom and they're like, yes, for health reasons, we're not going to be serving food today to any of our passengers. I was like, you cheap motherfuckers. You talk about health reasons and then you pack us in like sardines, but you bitches can't afford to give us water and cookies? Tell me that's not some bullshit.
That's some bullshit.
That's some bullshit, right?
Yeah.
That is some A-grade bullshit.
People don't like Dasani, just by the way. They don't like Dasani just because it's Coca-Cola.
Fair.
It's just
The
like,
water still tastes good, though.
It's water.
Yeah.
I don't like the Nestle one.
Yeah, listen. I might not like Coca-Cola either, but his CEO's daughter might have some good poom poom. But anyways, leave us your comments below. We want to know your thoughts. What do you think about this story? Why do you think this rule's in place? Yeah, we want to hear all that. So leave your comments. So yeah, any questions that you have about the process?
Nah, it's dumb. It's just ridiculous. I didn't want to take the chance. People ask, when you was on the podcast, people was asking, yo, where's Preach? I mean, if you're willing to take the risk, you live alone and shit. I know.
Yeah.
I still gotta, take care of my parents and shit like that, and go watch on them and see. So
Yeah.
and they're at risk,
No, yeah. So I completely understand why you wouldn't want to go. That's why I wasn't mad at you for not wanting to go.
You better not.
It was a good podcast, though. It was good, and then it was also cool to see how their setup is set up.
Their setup is good.
The setup is crazy.
This setup is great.
It's crazy. When I was there on the spot, I was like, okay, cool. That's interesting to see.
Alex Media knows what the fuck he's doing.
Bruh, honestly, their technical setup, like, compared to us,
Yo,
it's like caveman versus fucking Roman civilization.
They are. That's why, and that's why I wanted to go with the studio, with all the setup, with other things that we could produce eventually. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Well, leave your comments below. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about this whole lockdown? Like,